Hi there, my name is Ezra Tkach, and I serve here at Malone University as the Dual Enrollment and College Credit Plus Coordinator for the institution. And it is my pleasure to go over a brief presentation today regarding our application for admission, the registration process for dual enrollment courses, or CCP as it's known here in the state of Ohio, and then also just some miscellaneous items related to the program. So I do have timestamps listed down below in the description, along with all of the departments within Malone's structure referenced down there as well for your convenience. So as I'm going through, feel free to jump ahead as needed. So without further ado, let's get started. So in looking at students' interest to participate in our program, we're asking students to complete our free online application for admission. There is a link down below. The application will take ever so roughly about 20 minutes to complete. And once a student is through that process, and after we've received the transcripts, it'll take approximately 3 to 4 business days to get an admissions decision back to the student. Now, if you are a homeschooled student, your parent or guardian would be the primary person to send us your transcripts. If you can, please send them via our secure data Dropbox. And if you attend a private school or a Christian private school, please have your guidance counselor or school administrator upload those transcripts to our data Dropbox or send them via the old-fashioned way in the USPS snail mail. Now, this year with COVID going on, completely understand if you have not been able as a student to complete an ACT or SAT test score, totally understandable. So in the Ohio Department of Ed's flexibility as far as admissions criteria, we've adapted to their policy and currently looking at a student's unweighted cumulative high school GPA of at least a 3.0 or above. And specifically in the event that a student has low grades in English or math on their transcripts, we'll kind of dig into the weeds a little bit here, but we'll be asking for one or both of the following: a letter of recommendation from a teacher in that subject area, and or additional testing related to that subject area. Now, if we do request a student to take an additional test, that test would be the AccuPlacer Next Gen, and the cost would be on Malone. So you wouldn't have to worry about an additional cost on that. And the definition for Malone's policy for low grades would be F's and D's. If you have a C or above, don't sweat it too much. So deadlines. Take a screenshot of this, pause the video, go ahead and write these down. The open window, if you're planning to apply in the state of Ohio for public funding, would be the admissions time window would be November 1st of 2020 through April 23rd of 2021. April 23rd is a Friday. And we're asking students, if you're planning to apply for state funding, to complete your application to Malone. That would include sending in your transcripts and any test scores you have within that time window. Now, in the event that you miss that time window and still want to participate in the program, fear not. We have an extension, as so long as you're well aware you'd be a self-paced student. So that extension would be until Friday, July 30th. In the past, we've had a number of families come to us where they missed the deadline. They had life things going on, completely understand, but they still wanted to be able to take 1 or 2 courses in the upcoming academic year. So happy to work with those situations as they do arrive. So please be aware that if you do plan on self-paying, you would have until July 30th to complete your application. Now, going back to the state funding piece, if you do plan to apply for state funding, your open window to set up an Ohio ID account is February 3rd through May 1st. So I do have a link down below to the Ohio Department of Ed's website with more information on that. And then applying for state funding, once you are admitted to Malone and you have your acceptance letter, please upload that, and then you can fill out and complete the application for funding between February 3rd and again May 1st. Now, I'll put a little caveat here as well. As a convenience to you as a family, we send our acceptance letters as a PDF directly to the student in their email address we have on file. So there is no delay from the time that they're admitted to waiting for an actual hard document in the mail. Now with COVID, we have not been mailing snail mail acceptance letters. We just send the student family the PDF. So don't, I guess, keep an eye on your inbox. Make sure you have an active and current email address on file, because that's how we'll be sending the acceptance letter. Now, once you've applied for state funding, I believe the Ohio Department of Ed for the 21-22 academic year has said that award letters, if you receive funding from the state, will come out early May of 2021. So once you receive your ODE award letter, please upload that via our secure Dropbox or make a copy of it and mail that to us. You cannot register for courses at Malone on campus or online until we have that ODE letter. Now, registration for classes begins in the middle of May, historically every year. So in the event you're admitted to our program in January or February, well in advance of that May timeline, you can email the Center for Student Success and schedule an appointment, even though it's a couple months out, just so that you're in the queue. Now, first-year students are required to attend our orientation. To give you an idea what that looks like, it is by appointment only. It's roughly 2 hours. 1 hour is dedicated to an in-depth campus tour, making sure students are aware of where their classes will be held, where the faculty offices are related to those classes, making sure they're familiar with all of the student service offices on campus, where to park, and then the miscellaneous questions. And then the other hour is dedicated to any questions they have, and then also making sure that everything's finalized with their schedule. They have their Malone student ID, and they're familiar with the Center for Student Success, which houses our academic advising for College Credit Plus. And then if you are a returning CCP student, just so you're aware, you are not required to attend an orientation. And then also, if in the event you can't physically attend orientation due to some sort of travel restriction or who knows what, we're more than happy to accommodate that with an online orientation. And then before you know it, classes start August 30th. So we'll be off to the races before you know it with the fall semester. So MaloneXpress. A lot of students ask what MaloneXpress is and just how it works. So in essence, MaloneXpress is Malone's student user interface. And once you're officially accepted to Malone, you'll receive a Malone student email, a Malone student ID, and then a temporary password. Upon receipt of these credentials, we ask students to log in and reset their password and set up their security questions. In the event you get locked out of your account or your account's giving you issue, I do have our IT help desk's contact down in the description, so feel free to reach out to them. They're a great resource. But on MaloneXpress, students will be able to access, among other things, their academic schedule and review their grades. They'll be able to access the online student services, which would include online learning, our tutoring services, our library, campus bookstore resources, etc. And then also, as a self-paced student, you'll be able to review and pay your tuition bills online if you have any subsequent bills. Please be aware also here that on the application, if you did not provide Malone with your social security number, we do need that information in order to issue at the end of the academic year a 1098-T form. Per IRS guidelines related to academics, we do have to issue one of those to you as a student. So if you get a phone call from me at some point in the academic term asking for that information, please know it is a legitimate call, and that is the reason why I'm calling about it. So just to give you a heads up on that. So scheduling and classes and books. So the registration for classes, as I said before, starts in the middle of May. The Center for Student Success will work with you as a student to finalize your courses. I do have a complete list of courses linked down below that is updated periodically about half a semester or so prior to the start of the new academic term. So for example, the posted courses for the fall won't typically be posted until March of that year. So March 2021 is when you should be able to view what courses will be available during the fall semester of 2021. Likewise, if you're interested in taking summer courses would be posted about mid-February, early March of 2021 for summer term 2021. Now, again, as I said before, please note, if you are applying for ODE funding, you'll need to submit that award letter via our Dropbox or snail mail, attention, Ezra Tkach, Office of Admission, just so we have that on file. And we're keeping track of your awarded hours, just to make sure on our end, we're not overscheduling you and then you get a bill you weren't expecting. But then also just to ensure that we're keeping track with everything. Now, at the time of registration, we also respectfully ask that you disclose if you're planning to attend multiple institutions, just so that you're keeping track of your hours, and then also making sure we don't schedule you, for instance, with 2 English courses or 2 math courses at Malone and then another institution. And then also, if you are planning to self-pay for your coursework, please note that you can still schedule your appointment at any time, and even though it might be a little bit out. So in the acceptance packet, there'll be a complete list of contact information and follow-up information for scheduling your classes. So that information will be forthcoming once you're admitted to the program. Now, regarding books, if you attend a private school, typically the school will handle sort of the management of the books. So that's really something you're going to want to talk to your guidance counselor about. But if you are a homeschooled student, you are responsible for the purchase of the books. So you can either set up an account with our Malone Bookstore, or you can opt to find your books on your own via Amazon or some other provider. But we do provide a resource to you. Once you have your schedule, you can plug in to the search engine. I have a link down below, and look at what course material you'll need specifically. And in the event that nothing comes up, feel free to reach out to the faculty directly, and then they can disclose what information or books you'll be needing for that term. So billing. State funding, again, as I said before, once you receive that, we ask that you submit that via our admissions Dropbox or make a copy of that. And then self-pay specifically, and also state funding, if you go over your awarded hours, you can expect to receive a snail mail bill in the mail, typically towards the end of the academic semester. And it's due upon receipt. And you can either pay via the MaloneXpress student tab to go ePioneer, or you can make a check out to the Malone University business office. Now, at this time, I'm not aware of what the self-pay rate for CCP courses will be. So feel free to shoot me an email moving forward into the future, and we'll be happy to clarify what that rate would be. And then also transcripts. In the event you need an official copy of your Malone University transcripts, you'll need to contact the Office of the Registrar. I have a link down below to their website, on our website, specifically with the details of how to request a transcript. So CCP and post-high school plans. Kind of crazy to be thinking that far in advance, particularly if you're only in the 8th or 9th grade, but it's never too early to get a head start. So a common question we receive as a part of our program is, once I am accepted to the CCP program, say I'm in 10th grade, I'm going into 11th and then 12th grade, do I need to apply from one year to the next? And the awesome answer is you don't. All we ask that you do is pass all of your coursework if you have been enrolled. A's, let's go. We've got those resources. You can do it. I believe in you guys. And then also submit an updated high school transcript at the end of every academic year. So as the school year is winding down, typically April, May timeframe, maybe early June, talk to your high school guidance counselor or your mom or dad or homeschool administrator and have that sent in, just so we can keep track of your high school credentials and making sure you're on track to graduate, but then also making sure you're completing everything in good order. Now, just as a side note here, Malone, as part of our Pendle Hill academic and vocation commitment to our students, provides a free resource. It's a skills assessment inventory called PathwayU, and I encourage you to check that out. Check that out at your convenience. It's a free resource. And basically what it is as you are looking at your skills, your interests, what current activities and hobbies you participate in now, that will aggregate that information and give you some ideas as far as careers that you may want to look into that perhaps haven't been on your radar. And we do quite a bit of skills inventory for our traditional undergraduate students as well, and giving them a better sense of purpose and calling post-college. We really want students to have a firm grasp of what they're doing and where they're going as they progress towards their graduation date. And really, it's a great way to better assess the gifting that God's given you and perhaps some areas of growth that you may not be aware of right now. So check it out. And then seniors, if you are a senior in high school or entering your senior year and you have been accepted to our CCP program, be aware that you are given admissions considerations automatically for traditional undergraduate admission. And if there is a specific academic program or area of study you're interested in, feel free, to contact the admissions office directly and request information. We'd be more than happy to connect you with faculty in that area and department, and then also ensuring that you're aware of what transferability of credits are and then what those look like. I don't have it here, but also in the event you're a senior and you've taken dual enrollment courses through another institution here in Ohio or even out of state, feel free to send me an email with the course codes and the course descriptions of those classes, and I'll be more than happy to provide a free unofficial evaluation of credit just to kind of give you a ballpark idea of what credits you've earned or potentially will earn, and if they would transfer to Malone. So happy to do that, happy to be a resource. I have, again, as I said, links down below to everything I've gone over here. And if you do have additional questions, feel free to reach out and let me know directly. And in the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we look forward to working with you very soon. Take care.